Any of the way you talk about how you effortlessly pursue your passion makes me kind of impressed. Working on an analog horror series that I wanted to make before analog horror wasn't popular. It popped off. Discouraged can you making it. Jack. Make it. Whatever you want to make it right now. Don't look at the algorithm and think, oh, it's dated. It's gonna be dated. Or like, oh, someone's stolen my idea. Make it right now. When it comes to content creation, I learned to just make stuff. Just make it. Make something. If you have an idea, you need to act on it. You will regret the videos that you do not make. 100%. Act upon those urges, 100%. Deerling is an artist, and Niv is a writer. I don't know if Niv is still here, but I think they can vouch for me when I say, if you want to keep up your craft, you've just got to make stuff. You've got to make it. You've got to make something. You got to keep putting it out. You're always going to think to yourself, this isn't as good. Maybe I shouldn't just make it together. Maybe I should wait until I come up with a better idea. Just make it. Make it and post it and move on to the next. I know there's something to say about quality versus quantity. However, that doesn't negate the fact that you have to make it in the first place. I do consider, when I make videos, I do consider quality over quantity, but I still make it in the first place. I still write it and I record it and I edit it and I upload it to YouTube. Or maybe it'll get a little viewership, maybe it won't, but at least I made it. And you know the best part about making it is eventually you will have a backlog. You'll have a backlog of a bunch of content. Maybe you can go through and clear out stuff that you don't like. That's what I did for my YouTube. I had a lot of old videos that were kind of bad, but some videos that were pretty good. So I just went through and cleaned them out, but you'll have that portfolio. And so whenever a new person visits your profile or your channel or your page, whatever art you're making, they'll have that entire backlog to look at. And that is very important. If you don't do that, if you don't start making something, if you have cold feet, you probably won't ever start. That happened to me. When making YouTube videos, I kind of just gave up. I'm like, I'll write a script. Like, oh, nah, I don't want to get into this now. I don't want to do this. And I would just wait. I would let entire video series just die because I tried to write them, but I didn't have the effort and I didn't feel they were that good. And as a result, my channel kind of just died for a couple years. Hurts 2 at a time, but just keep going. Exactly. You have to keep going. Love hearing Andy give these pep talks. Kind of thing that pushed me to finally post my story. I'm not preaching right now. I am yelling at you, whoever you are. You know who you are. You've got that idea in your head to make something. I know you do. I'm staring at you right now through the computer screen. You have that idea that you want to make it. And a part of you is thinking to yourself, should I even make it? If I make it, it's too goofy. It's too dorky. Maybe I won't. Maybe it's too generic. Maybe people won't like it. Maybe I'll just not do it. Make it. Go make it. Because you know what? Worst case scenario, you get the experience for making it. And then guess what? When you make one thing, you'll immediately want to make another thing after that. Because you're like, I can make something even better. And you keep on going. It's to the point where you will start trying to outpace yourself. And here's another pro tip. In 2 years, you're going to look at what you posted today and you're going to hate it, no matter what. Literally, no matter what. You're going to look back on this content you made and you're going to be like, oh, I was so cringe back then. This content is so bad. I could have done a much better job. That's going to happen no matter what. And the question is whether or not you want to do that earlier or put that off for who knows God how many years before you actually finally work on it and make something. I look back at my old videos like this fucking stupid Minnesotan high school kid who just cannot read a script for the life of him. I look back on those with cringe. I'm like, I can't sit through these. But that's the point. That's what happens to a content creator. That's what happens to an artist. It's so frustrating sometimes. Every time I do the waiting, it ends up being, what the hell am I even waiting for? Exactly. Don't wait. Do not wait. Post it yesterday. That video that you had, that video idea, that art piece you had, finish it, upload it. That's all I'm saying. Because when you get into the habit of putting it off, you can't break that. That is the hardest thing to break. That's what happened to my YouTube channel. I just gave up. And I had I had so many video ideas. I'm still going through them. My new videos that I'm making, a handful of them stem from that period of time where I'm like, I'm going to write about a Halo game, or I'm going to make a video about this old PC game that I like. Like, it literally stems from that period of time. Here's the thing. You look back at your old content with cringe, that's a good thing. Because guess what? If something like a year ago and you look back and you're like, oh, that was so amateur, that's only a sign of how far you've grown. That's only a sign of, like, you now have even higher standards than you were back then. Everyone should strive to that. Everyone should strive. Your very first piece of work, you will be embarrassed by. But that's the point. That's what happens when you are constantly putting out content. Anyway, it's uncomfortable leaving your comfort zones, but it's the best thing you can possibly do. Yes, Looney, you couldn't have said it better. I couldn't have said it better myself.